Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. There is so much happening in the housing market. It is going to just blow your mind. I mean, everything that I thought is sort of playing out, but not the way I thought it was going to. It feels like, well, for one, when you Google just US housing market, the news, US housing market news, you could see the stories are basically all over the place. Some say the crash is, starting. Some say it's going to actually not have a crash. And people are just kind of left wondering what is really going to happen to the future, right, of the housing market. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kind of jump into some data points I want to just kind of show you. And then, I guess we're just going to have to make our own assumption of what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those where sure, we could read all the articles we want, but what's going to happen is going to happen. So, and we would just learn from it. Now, here, check this out. If we jump over to the Redfin weekly housing market data, and we could see basically, if we jump over to median sale price right here, the median sale price, and we look at, like, for example, we put the last three years, we could see that this is 2023 is this blue line right here, and it's basically going sideways, right? This is when the Fed started raising the interest rates, and it did bring prices down. Okay, it did bring, but not that much. I was expecting going back to that 2019 levels, even that 2020 levels, but it doesn't look like we're going in, at least not at this moment. Now, why is that happening? Now, when we check out the mortgage interest rates, you can see we're still hovering at that 7% for a 30-year fix, which is pretty high. Now, it has been somewhat easing a little bit. As you can see, the blue line, it was a little bit higher, was closer to 8, and now it's definitely going sideways. Now, you know what? This is probably going to stay high for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes up even a little bit more. Remember, the economy is in a lot of turmoil. Now, obviously, you do get a better rate when you go to the 30-year, 15-year fix, but unfortunately, a lot of people can't afford that. And this is a little bit of what scares me. The ARM loans, right? This is, they get you into a good interest rate, basically a variable interest rate. And this could really hurt you if the economy basically takes a big crash and interest rates go up, right? Your monthly mortgage payment could double in some cases. So definitely, obviously, the best one would be the 15-year fix. A lot of people can't afford that one. You got to put down a big down payment. But, the most conventional is this 30-year fix. Now, for a lot of people in the last year, 2 years, they were able to refinance, closer to like under 3%. So this is a big jump. And this should scare a lot of potential new home buyers. At the same time, because we have inflation, the Federal Reserve really has nothing they can do about it. They really do have to raise those interest rates, pay back some of our debt and slow down the economy. But here's the problem, right? When we start looking at the unemployment rate, if you want to ask why is everything still so expensive, and it's because of this. It's because everybody's employed. Now look, I think that a lot of the employment is coming from low wage jobs, which low wage jobs are not going to take this, economy forward. Like, we need high paying jobs, right? High paying jobs allows you to actually buy a house. And the unfortunate fact is that you can't buy a house, working at McDonald's, even as a manager. Like, nowhere in California will you be able to make enough, right? So, like, you need to make like over, what is it, like $40-50 an hour just to be able to afford like a normal house. And there's so much, my fear is that there's not a lot of job security these days. So you have a good job for 2 years, something happens to the economy, then you get laid off, then you're stuck with that mortgage that it's hard to pay and whatnot. And if people are coming in at that 7% interest rate, you could see how it becomes a problem, and that's when you see the economy start to crash. I'm seeing the cracks, but again, with inflation basically being high, that means that there's a lot of money in the economy, And then with unemployment being low, that means people are working. I don't see it really coming down anytime soon. And there's people that are very like bullish right now on our economy. You know, you could see Bitcoin has started to go up again. The stock market has done pretty good lately. So, I mean, this is all sort of good news, but you know, when we start looking, for example, if you just Google tech layoff news, you could see more and more people are getting laid off in the tech industry. These are high paying jobs, right? You're not going to go from working, you know, at Google or Microsoft to basically working at a restaurant. That sort of stuff doesn't happen, right? But you know what? When we have programs like that Chat GPT that is basically automating so many jobs out there, you could see that it's not looking good for the job market. I mean, my personal opinion, and how that is going to affect the housing market. Well, you know what? When all these people, you know, get laid off and they can't get hired anywhere else, and these are high-paying jobs, you could see that that will trickle down all the way down, you know, to basically going out to dinner, right? They might not have the money to go out to dinner, so and then you know restaurants make less money. And remember, right now, look at the price of eggs, right? The price of eggs is literally through the roof. So I think it's all going to come and explode pretty soon, in my opinion. And I definitely could see a big drop. I just cannot believe that the prices are still as high as they are, and it's unsustainable, in my opinion. Right now, we're like it's kind of like honeymooning right now. That's what I feel like. It's almost like the calm before the storm. But I think that definitely, in my opinion, you know, a year or 6 months. I was saying like there was going to be a crash coming in the next 1 or 2 months. If you start looking at my videos like around October, I was saying like, yeah, there's going to be a big like crash around right now. I did say you would be better off buying, you know, now than back then, and I was definitely right because the prices did come down from around the time that I was making those videos. Not by much, not as much as I hoped for, but you can see, you know, with these layoffs, let's see how that trickles to the rest of the economy. And it's going to be an interesting roller coaster ride because there's just so much going on right now. It's a little on the scary side, especially with those companies like ChatGPT that are just going to wreak havoc on our economy and our job market. Okay, guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.